introducing you to our final keynote speaker. He is the CEO at Sunshine Healthcare Limited, and he has more than 30 years of experience in the industry and currently a doctoral candidate and possesses an MBA carrying Chartered Marketer, Practicing Marketer, and Distinguished Toastmaster titles. Please welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Thirusandan, who will be delivering his speech on the topic From a Medical Rep to a CEO. Over to you, sir.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are all born. And one thing certain in today's world is the certainty. One thing which is certain for sure is one day we'll all die. So for me, from the time you're born, from the time till you're dead, this gap, meaning B to D, is time management. People attend seminars on time management, what to do, how to do, all that is fine. For me, what you do from birth till death is time management. So I would like to share my experience, my 30 years of work experience in 30 minutes. Now that's a challenge. 30 years to speak in 30 minutes is a challenge. So I am going to fast forward a lot of things and squeeze in a lot of things and tell things in a summary. I was delighted to hear when my friend Niranjan said, if you dream, there's nothing impossible. I repeat, if you dream, nothing is impossible. Why? For me, unfortunately or fortunately for me, that dream came at when I was 19 years. So 19 years plus 30 or 31 years, you all can guess my age. Yes, you're right. 19 years, 31 years experience. Your guess of my age is correct. Coming back, I did biological subjects, botany, zoo, physics, chemistry for my A-levels. I got through all my 4 subjects, but was not good enough to select for medicine. I mean, you all are all undergrads and in university, and today we have many choices for us to pursue our degree. But for me, those days, either you become a doctor, lawyer. I mean, these were things put in our mind. Unfortunately, you become a doctor, engineer, lawyer. If not, I don't know. Sorry, your future's gone. I mean, that sort of thing. You got to become one of the 3. So I was in that mentality. So since it was not adequate to enter the University of Peruthanil, I thought, let me study hard for my second try. And I started studying 16 hours a day. 16 hours a day. Only till March, till the big match. Trinity St. Anthony's big match. Following day, I walked in home and said, my father, I'm not going to repeat. My father always said, hey, after 20, either you got to study or you got to work. So fine, obvious choice, I'm going to work. So look for jobs. I'm going to fast forward. Otherwise, I need 30 hours to tell my 30-year story. So try to stop in 30 minutes. I'm going to fast forward as I mentioned. Went for my first interview. So I selected, okay, not a banker, not an accountant, which were other choices to improve yourself in life. At that time, when I was a 19-year-old, those were choices I had. I thought now accountant is not going to work. Banking is not going to work. Let me get into marketing. And in marketing, there were consumer marketing and there were medical marketing. And medical marketing, hey, I wanted to become a doctor. The medical marketing, the medical reps looked so flashy. In fact, they look better than the doctors. I'm sorry, if there are any doctors, I hope I'm not antagonizing. At that time, for my eyes, they look better because they went in flashy cars. They sat and had a one-to-one discussion to see they were selling pharmaceutical products and looked very flashy and lucrative. So I thought I'll go there, did my little research. At that time, it was Hema's Lanka Medical, which is Sunshine now, and Glaxo were the company, and Glaxo were the #1 in the pharmaceutical industry in Sri Lanka. So I thought, hey, if you want to become the best, you have to be with the best. I repeat, if you want to become the best, you have to be with the best. That's how you become the best and you develop the best skills. So I applied for Glaxo as a medical representative. First interview, second interview, third interview. At the third interview, there was a questionnaire which asked, what would you like to become when you reach 40 years? It didn't take much time. Like a dawn, I wrote, I want to become the managing director. And there was a bit of a laughter in the panel when they perused that. Believe me, that moment was my trigger in my life. They were, I don't know, for me, that laughter was, hey, this Podian fellow at 19 want to become managing director? Really? That's what they didn't say it. I don't know. That's what I read. Thankfully for me, I read it. And I thought, I'm going to do that. From that day, that was my trigger. Every day I woke up for that dream. I always say, if you don't have a dream, don't wake up. Why did you wake up today morning? If you have a dream, wake up for your dream. If not, sleep, sleep, sleep. Don't even press that snooze button on your mobile or your alarm clock. Sleep. If you have a dream, wake up. And if your dream you want to achieve faster, then you decide, hey, am I going to sleep till the sun hits my posterior? Or am I going to wake up at 6? Or if my dream is more aggressive, am I going to wake up at 5 o'clock? That's why Robin Sharma wrote 5 a.m. Club. What you achieve when you wake up at 5 compared to rest of the world is far greater when you sleep till 6 or 7. So it depends on your dream. So thank you, Niranjan, for saying, if you dream, nothing is impossible. So the dream that I had in 19 years, I achieved 10 years ago at 40. So on my 50th birthday, I thought, because my father wanted to write a book and he passed away. So I thought, I'm not going to wait till I hit the coffin to write a book. So when I celebrated the 50th birthday, I thought I'm going to put the lessons, what helped me to achieve the 19-year dream when I achieved, which I achieved at 40, the 20-year career period, which helped me to grow. And for me, it was the clear 7 mantras. That's what I wrote this book, the 7 mantras for success. That was my success, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if it's going to be your success, but let me explain that to you. If it's yours, for God's sake, adapt it, move it. 8 minutes gone, 22 more seconds left, but I'm sure the previous speaker gave some extra cushion of time, and let's see whether we are going to use it or not. So my number 1 mantra is have a vision, meaning have your dream. I always say, organizations that we work for have vision. They, in the reception, you will see big bold letters behind, say, this is our vision. We are here, this is where I want to become, and that's our vision. Countries like Singapore, countries like Malaysia, they have dreams. But when youngsters come in for interview, I ask them, what is your dream? They wonder. Again, I ask, son, what would you like to become? They sometimes sit and wonder. Then I ask again, son, when you retire or when you reach 40 years or 50 years, what is that you would become? They say, I have not thought about it. So ladies and gentlemen, when you're young, dream what you want to become. Only if you dream, you will wake up to that. Only if you dream, you will do things to make that happen. And that is your life dream. So your daily, your living purpose should be that. Otherwise, don't live for the day. Get up in the morning, sleep in the night, okay, nantale, do that things for a day. It's not going to work. But if you have a dream, everything will revolve around. It's easy for you to say what to say yes, what to say no. Only if you have a dream and you have a strong compassion towards it. So my number 1 mantra, which I wrote in my book, is dream. Have a dream. Have a vision for yourself. It's yours. My number 2 mantra is have a passion. Passion meanings be passionate about it. It should not be your parents' dreams. It should not be about your friend's dream. It should not be about your girlfriend's or your wife's dream or your sibling's dream. It's yours. Me working in the pharmaceutical industry for 31 years now, I have listened to consultants who earn in millions, who come at the age of 45, 50, say, hey, this is not what I wanted to be. I never wanted to become a doctor. My parents pushed me into that. Oh, we come from a doctor family. I became a doctor. I wish I'm an artist. I wish I'm a teacher. This is what I like. So you cannot afford to bring this thought at the age of 45, 50. So you have a passion of your dream, or be passionate with it, and it should come from you. It should not be someone else. If someone else force you, that's not gonna work. So be passionate about it and you own it, and so that you wake up for that, as I mentioned earlier. So be passionate about it, and it comes from your heart. Hey, this is what I want to be. So be passionate about it. My number 2 mantra is being passionate. Now, once you have a dream, once you are passionate about it, my 3rd mantra is plan and prioritize, which is very, very important. Plan and prioritize. When you and I wake up, we have 200 things to do. If 200 is exaggeration, 20 things to do. But we all have, whether you are the president or the president of USA or newly elected president of Sri Lanka, or if you are seated at golf face in the Aragale, or whoever you are, we all have 24 hours. So if all of us have 20 things to do, in 24 hours, we might have to sleep for 6 to 7 hours, left with 16 hours, then there are things to do. We don't have the time to do everything in a day. We don't have the time to do everything in a week, month, years. So we need to plan what to do and what not to do. Most of us end up doing the most unwanted things, and the days goes, the weeks goes, the month goes, and the years go, and you're gone. At the age of you sit and wonder, what the hell have I done with my life? To see 80% of my time I have wasted. Hey, this is should have I focused. This is where I should have spent my time, which is my core strength. This is where my happiness is. So when you get it right early in young days, who you are today, plan and prioritize and say, out of the 20, these are the 4 I'm going to do. These are the 16 I'm not going to do. Or these are the 7 things I'm going to do. And these are the 13 things I'm not going to do. It's very clear, which should be linked and aligned to your vision. Then you can learn to say no. So for me, at the age of 19 years, becoming managing director at 40 was the plan or the dream. So when at 20 to 30, being medical reps, when you go outstation, people used to party, people go on trips. For me, all that was no. Why? I had a dream to achieve. And planning means, hey, I didn't go to the university. I need to plan my education. So my plan was before 25, I need to do my equivalent degree. So I did Chartered Institute of Marketing, UK. And at 24, my plan was to finish within 25 and achieve 24. At 30, I want to do my MBA in a recognized state university. I was very clear. So I have to work with that plan and I have to prioritize that plan. So when others had a plan, others had a trip, when others bring a bottle here, Machan, come, let's have a drink and let's party, I had to slowly move away because I had a plan. So I had to say no for that. Weekends when people were dancing and socializing and going on trips, I had to move away and give priority for my MBA. And people told me various things, nasty things, but it doesn't matter. Fast forwarding myself to 40 years, I'm happy I said no to them. Today, they are not part of my life or they are not my Kalyana Mitras. So what I said no, what I planned and prioritized, it helped me. So you too, sometimes it may be difficult for you to say no. My parents, or they are my uncle, aunt, how to say no? Hey, are you going to live his dream or her dream, or are you going to live your dream? If it's your dream, you take the decision. You have to take that call. Am I going to do this or not? There are some time wasters who come and waste my time. Sometimes it can be as long, and it's the seconds which turn into minutes, and the minutes which turn into hours, hours which turn into days, and that days turn into week turn into months, months turn into years, and years turn into your life. We are talking about your life. So every minute you waste, you're wasting your life. Remember that. So you may say, it's just 5 minutes. Let me take that hang-on call. No, cut it off. There are some time wasters. I get up and I stand up so that that person doesn't waste my time in my office. Why? When I stand up, he doesn't sit. So he can't have that 15 minutes unwanted chat. Or when people walk in, some people, I walk out consciously. Why? I don't have time to waste. So these are little tactics I follow, but you can have yours. But it's very important plan. I'm talking tactical things, but it's important you plan your life. Like I said, hey, 20, I'm going to do this. 25, I'm going to do my CIM. 25, I'm going to do my MBA. Before 20 to 30, I have to come to a senior manager position. Then I become at a general manager level. And at 40, I'm going to be a CEO. Write it down. 5-year plan, 10-year plan. What is you need to achieve it? What are the educational support you need to achieve it? What are the skills, knowledge, experience that you need to achieve them? Plan it out and go for it. Otherwise, you will end up, today you'll do MBA, tomorrow you'll do another degree, day after you'll do law. And like any other CV, you will have 10 qualifications. And some people with so many will not end up anywhere. So be clear, be focused. Like that horse that runs the race on that line, be focused. Hey, this is the line I'm going, which ends up in my dream, and go in that path. My number 4 mantra is change. Change is inevitable. People don't like change. So if you have to achieve your dream, you've got to change. 2019 or 2020, the COVID. So people still grumble, I'm working from home. Now the economic crisis, people are grumbling, no fuel, no file, come on. Sit and cry for one day, but change. We need to change and move on. If you can't change, you're going to have a problem, because in life, the change comes from the environment. So if there's no fuel, true, you sit and grumble. But I have 4 methods how to overcome. I use public transport. I walk. Kandy, I am from Kandy. I take the train to come to Colombo and get back. Right? I use office transport. I use 3-wheelers. I also use the work from home option. Yes. Another example, there's no gas. People sit and grumble, hey, no gas, no gas, no gas. Fine. So I have this Daralipa at home. Of course, my wife manages it, not me. Right? You might have to cook everything at once. Or you might have to have your meal outside. Or you might have to combine 3-4 meals and have together. And with recession, you might have to cut down and plan out 2 meals a day. Change, you got to find a solution. True, there's an issue, but how long you're going to cry? So Robin Sharma says, surrender to that change, accept that change, and then move on. There are some people who want to go abroad, but when they go abroad, they take the 2 weeks time, they take the flight and come back. Why? Hey, I can't fall asleep in Australia. I go to Canada, I can't adapt to that climate. They speak of change. From Kandy to Colombo, they can't shift. Some people can't sleep in another bed. Hey, I need that daddy to sleep with me. Without the daddy, I am not falling asleep. But they go and do change management lecture. Some people, without their chair, they can sit and have a meal. Are you having the meal or are you eating the chair? No, I want the chair for me to sit and have my meal, the head chair of the table. So people find it difficult to change. It's a big word. For me, change was enormous. Me being a Tamil Hindu, I always say I'm married to a Sinhalese Catholic. So just imagine the change that would have brought into the house. Right? I have 3 children. If you ask whether they are Tamil or Sinhalese, they will stare at me. But what? Right? Because they come from a different religion, different race, and mix of all. So what are we talking? Change, adapt. So I can come and argue with my wife, hey, you do this Hindu way. Then she'll come and say, no, you do the Sinhalese way. We need to change. We need to adapt. So today we need to adapt. There are economic. Dollar is 375, not 203 anymore. You got to change. So that's about change. So in your dream, when you achieve, the environment will throw a lot of change. So my number 1 fourth mantra is change and adapt. We have no choice. We have no choice on COVID. We have no choice on the current economic crisis. We have no choice in our disposable income coming down. We have no choice on the inflation. So we got to adapt and move on. It's in you. Your dream will take you where you want to go. So don't stop sitting and complaining. You have your dream and you march along and see how you're going to overcome these challenges. So that is change. My 5th mantra in my book I wrote is sacrifice. If you want to achieve something, you got to make a sacrifice. And I'm sure on a Saturday morning, we could have done 101 things. But the 94 who are logged in were committed to this. When you commit to this, you're making a sacrifice. For me, on another day, I'll be with my home, spending time with my family. So I said no from 9 to 11. I'm going to listen to this. So that's a sacrifice I make. When I did my MBA, I was married. I got married at 22. I had my son at 23. I had my daughter at 25. At 30, I had 2 school-going children. And I work in Colombo. I stay in Kandy. Fridays, I come to home. Mondays, I go back. It's 2 days I spend with my family. And I selected to do my MBA at University of Peradeniya. Only when I walked in, I realized that's a full time. They say you got to do lectures are from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. And I still remember that finance, economics, business law lecturer, they always fix that lecture at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday night. And here I come to Kandy for 2 days and the 2 full days for 2 full years. Actually, 2 full years, they said, but it ended up as 2.5 years. The coursework I spent at University of Peradeniya. Sacrifice. Why? For me, it was important. I needed that MBA for me to get into that senior level management. I told you I didn't have a degree. What I have is only the CIM diploma. That's not good enough. That was good marketing knowledge. Now, if I had to upgrade myself into management and a CEO, I need more knowledge on finance. I need more knowledge on investment. I need to know business law and finance I had to do. So I could have taken an MBA. I had a friend of mine who registered in January and in August, he got the MBA. 8 months done, he went to USA, took the certificate, had a nice, big, beautiful picture. But you give him a P&L, he'll wonder what it is. Those things don't bring it to me. But for me, I wanted to learn. I wanted to know what balance sheet is, what profit and loss is, what cash flow is. My accounting sir got me to do. And if there's 1 cent different, he got us to do it again. And that was the learning. So that's a sacrifice. It's a choice. I want to learn. 2.5 years I learned because I wanted that MBA knowledge, because if I had to become a CEO, when I'm seated in the CEO, if I can't interpret my profit and loss statement, that's not going to help. If I don't have the management skill, that's not going to help. If I don't know the law, that's not going to help. So that's how I focus myself to sacrifice something to achieve something. Another example, when I was doing my CIM UK, the classes were on Saturday, Sundays. And when I was a medical rep, I was working North Central, Northwestern province. And from the territory, your area, you're not supposed to bring a vehicle back. So for me to come to classes, I used to come and park the vehicle in Kurnagal, or there were instances I parked my vehicle in Anuradhapura, taken a bus and come to classes in Colombo. Those days, the classes were held at Oxonia near Vellavatta. So I used to come for classes, attend CIM class, get back. People used to laugh at me, "Mu pisek." Recently, you heard, no, "Mu pisek." They called me pisek to do this. Come by bus, attend to CM class, get back, when they were having fun. At the age of 20 to 20, they had a girlfriend also. They said, you should have fun with her. Right? I'm not having fun with her. I'm coming for this. Why? For me to have a better life for the future family. For my children to have a better time for their future. For me to spend for their education in their future, I need to do that sacrifice between my 20 to 30 years. Either I have fun 20 to 30 and then scratch my head at my 30, or I sacrifice between 20 to 30 and then live my life. And after 40, I enjoy. My local trips became overseas trips. My local boat trips became cruise trips. Why? When I made that sacrifice, and when you achieve something, the money follows. Not that I chased money. When you achieve certain position, you also get higher salary. The money comes, and when you have more money, you can do more things. You can enjoy life. You can give back the society. All that was due to that sacrifice I made in my early life. So that MBA helped me, as I mentioned, though I invested. For me, it was an investment. And thankfully, my wife understood, and she helped me to achieve it. So that was the sacrifice which gave me the reward. So the sacrifices you make should give you the reward. Me coming from Kurnagal or Anuradhapura to Colombo by bus, no regrets at all. It was investment. When I got promoted, so the moment I got that CIM from a medical rep, I got pushed up to an executive. Because they knew, hey, this guy is qualified. If Glaxo doesn't promote him, some competition will grab him. So I had to take that. So that is sacrifice. Moving on to my 6th mantra, which I wrote in my book, is taking risk. People are afraid to take risk. If that doesn't happen, the if factor, lack of clarity, fear of failure, you don't want to take risk. I always say, take risks, take calculated risk. At the age of 19, I opted to work. I didn't have a degree, a risk that I took. And I have no regrets. At the age of 21, people thought, hey, are you crazy? 22, I got married. 23, I had my son, started a family. And the salary was what? It's very low. It's less than 10,000 at that time. But I managed it. After working for 10 years at Glaxo, I have come to a category manager. I know I need to be a senior manager. So at 30, at 29, I took a call to join Hemas as a country manager. People think, hey, you're leaving this multinational and going, are you taking a risk? Yes, I want to grow. I have a plan what I want to achieve at 40. So I gave the resignation and joined Hemas. They said, you will work only for 2 weeks. I ended up working for 10 years. So I worked as a country manager for 10 years at Hemas because I took that calculated risk, because I didn't believe what I believed in myself. I know what I can do, why I knew what I'm capable of doing. Because of that, I joined and I worked for 10 years. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, country manager at Hemas is one of the best positions you can dream of. Good salary, one of the best places to work, good comfort, you had all the freedom. And I worked for 10 years. And when I was coming at 39 years or hit 40, I was wondering, hey, all this comfort is there, everything is there. Is this what I want in life? At that time, the retirement age was 55 years. I have 15 more years to work. And most of them who became country managers, they retired as country managers at Hemas. I asked myself, hey, are you going to retire as country manager? Are you in that comfortable chair? At this point, when Mr. Dhammika Parrao, the valuable one, purchased Delmage, and the headhunter called me, Mr. Dhammika Parrao's headhunter called me and said, he is looking for somebody in the industry and he has shortlisted you and he wants to come. And in my final interview in 2012, December 19th, that valuable one, West Tower, 29th floor, Mr. Dhammika Parrao said, I have a vacancy for the entire Delmage healthcare cluster. And by the way, Delmage was not a healthcare company at all. And there were 4 SBUs. and it was making a loss. He said, I want a CEO who can turn into profit. It was making 134 million net profit. Ladies and gentlemen, on that day itself, I knew this is not the place to work. This is not the boss I want to work. This is not the board of directors I want to work. But that urging inner flame, I woke up for that dream to become a CEO. For me, that word CEO, I'm going to take it and accept and sit in that CEO chair. Said yes. On December 19th, I told Mr. Tamika Parra, yes, I'm going to take it. On that day itself, I know I'm going into fire. I know it's going to be tough. But as I told, I believe in myself. At that time, I had 20 years of healthcare experience. And ladies and gentlemen, it took 2 years. It was tough. My wife always told me, even my vocabulary at home changed in that environment. But after 2 years, that 400 to 500 million sale went above 1 billion in the healthcare sector. That 134 million net profit became 34 million net profit. And that helped. Why? I said yes. I took that calculated risk. So because of that, after 4 years, I was able to end up at Sunshine, which is anyway a healthcare company. If I didn't go there as a CEO, I will not be sitting where I'm sitting now. Today is the 30 billion, 40 billion organization is Sunshine Holdings. In that, Sunshine Healthcare is a big organization. So I got the opportunity to work for Sunshine Healthcare because I took that risk and I went to Delmage and upgraded myself from a country manager to a CEO. I was able to shift from here to Sunshine. Now see how that you taking calculated risk, you believing in yourself, you not having that fear of failure can help you to achieve your dreams. So it's because of that move, it helped me. And today I'm back in healthcare. I'm in medical devices. I have done pharmaceutical. And today, now my management said, hey, Sayantan, we want you to do the pharmaceutical manufacturing, which is the future of pharmaceutical industry. See how lives keep moving. And my final mantra is integrity. We as Sri Lankans, we are good at cheating others. In school, we cheat the teachers. While the teachers teach us, we cheat the teachers. At work, we cheat our boss. Sometimes when the boss is there, how we do things. When the boss is not there, what we do are two different things. At home, you do this to your parents sometimes. In universities, sometimes we end up scooting off or cheating all that. But I always say integrity is all about, for me, integrity is all about what you do when no one is watching. I repeat, what you do when no one is watching is integrity. Be true to yourself. So my final mantra is be true to yourself. Be true to that dream. The dream that you have, the vision that you have, be true to that. Don't ever let that dream down. Don't do anything against it. So once you articulate your dream, be true to yourselves. The integrity is all about that. Let anybody do anything. Don't worry about it. Be true to yourself. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the advertisement time. This book has all the mantra. The 30 years I have told in 30 minutes, and the 30-year story I have written it in 112 pages. So this is available at Vijitayapa, Sarasavi, MD Gunasena at 29. So for God's sake, don't spend 2,900. Reach out to Sankajo or any of the committee. I'll try to give it at 1,500, reaching your doorstep. So that's a little bit of advertisement on my book. But coming back, this book, I have spelled out the mantra. And if I may summarize in the interest of time, have a vision for yourself. Be passionate about your vision. My second mantra. Plan and prioritize how to achieve the vision. Change. There'll be environmental change thrown in. Be ready to change. Take risk. Take calculated risk. Make that sacrifice to achieve your dream and what you need to achieve in your life. Last but not least, have that integrity towards yourself. So ladies and gentlemen, if I may quote Stephen Covey, live your life, live, learn, love, and finally, when you leave this world, leave a legacy. When you go off, when you resign from university, they should say, hey, this was the brightest student we have, and he did very well. They should remember you. When you leave the organization, he said, hey, so-and-so did this, and they should remember you. And finally, when you leave this world, people should be talking well so that they remember you. My 30 minutes is up. I started at 10 to, it's 10:32, 30 minutes. Start on time, end on time, live, love, learn, leave a legacy. All the very best to all of you. Back to you.
So guys, remember, as Sir said, if you want to be the best, you have to be with the best, and start dreaming from today onwards and be passionate on it. So thank you very much, sir, for your valuable advice and those wonderful words of inspiration. We had so much to gain from your wonderful session. Thank you again, sir. So with that, we bring an end to our